So supporters of that tend to say, look at the property values that have been created that will be coming on the books or are on the books. Look at the increased activity and sales tax revenue in Uptown. Look at the town environment that helps benefit the university. What's your answer to those allegations that it's been a positive?
Look at the debt. TIF districts are supposed to play games with the real estate taxes, and sometimes that can be a net positive. Usually it's not, and this is one of those cases. Yes, there has been increased values, but the people who say, look at the increased values, are assuming that there would be absolutely no increased values absent the TIF districts and absent the tens of millions of dollars of debt that Normal has taken on.
So supporters, though, say that if you look at the average percentage of a home mortgage based on the income that goes to the mortgage payment and the debt service on that, the town's debt service is less than 7% of the entire town annual. So they're saying if you want to compare those, that's far less than a home buyer would have in their assets tied up in a mortgage payment. So is debt in the principle really the right metric to pay attention to, or should you pay attention to the percentage?
Neither. You should pay attention to overall cost. Most people take out a mortgage because they're getting ready to settle down, have a family. Looking at it purely financially, in theory, they should wait until they can afford to just go pay cash for that house, because by taking out a mortgage, you're usually paying double or triple. But if you wait until you can afford to pay cash for a house, you're probably going to wait till after your kids are grown, or maybe you just won't even have kids. However, the town of Normal doesn't have that 60, 70, 90, whatever year time frame that you and I are limited to. Therefore, they have the luxury of, I can save up and pay cash, even if it takes an extra 10, 20, maybe even 50 years, depending on what the item is.
Should they do that, though? I mean, certain needs are identified for the town. Certain things are positive public goods for the town, and it's well accepted pretty much across the nation that sometimes you pay for infrastructure through bonding.
The town does have certain needs and certain positives. I came up with an example recently on a different radio station. For decades now, there have been people that, because once upon a time, Town of Normal routed storm sewers in with sewage sewers. That was probably even before I was born, so I'm not faulting the current administration for that. But they've known about it for decades. And my response to that is yes, the town took initiative. It took out, millions of dollars in bonds and built a house and paid to bring Portillo's. The town has certain needs. Proper sewage is one of them. Proper water is one of them. Proper roads is one of them. All of these nice-to-haves are nice-to-haves. After you address what's needed, then we should talk what nice-to-haves do we most want.